Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. And you know what? Gamergate was 4 years ago. 4 damn years ago. And it's been popping up a lot lately. It feels as we get closer to August, as we get closer to that 4-year anniversary, people start getting itchy, right? How do I talk about Gamergate? How do I bring up the menace known as Gamergate? How do I find a way to profit off of Gamergate? I'm going to talk about it in a negative. I'm going to game drop and attack gamers who want ethics in games journalism, because that's just where we find ourselves all the time. All the time. All the time, it feels like now. It makes the culture war that's happening online is just insane. It is just insane, because we now find journalists are extremely thin-skinned. And we've known this, but there's been no better evidence than the reaction to this particular tweet from GOG Games, which this is now deleted, by the way. But it says here, a game that wears its heart on its sleeve, a sleeve that is rarely safe for work, Postal 2, Paradise Lost, no filter, no DRM. And the image here is them pissing. It's from the games, pissing on a games room's tombstone, saying committed suicide August 28th, 2014. Now, if you happen to be a Gamergater, if you happen to be a person who was around that time, you know August 28th, 2014, that is a very significant date. That is the day that the Gamergate hashtag was coined by Adam Baldwin in response to somebody sending him both of the, well, at the time, Internet Aristocrat, but now Mr. Medicare, videos on the subject matter, and he just coined it Gamergate. Now, if you know anything about Adam Baldwin, just as a quick side note, he likes to do this. He will create random hashtags for literally whatever. We've been following each other now for 4 years. He does this almost every day. Adam likes to shitpost, and this one just happened to stick. And it's been 4 years, and it's been a thing. It's been a real thing, and it's hysterical, especially when the fine, cowardly folks over at VG247 caught wind of this. Oh boy, did they get mad. Here's what they said here. VG247 pulls support and coverage of GOG.com following pro Gamergate tweet. Yeah. Following pro Gamergate tweet. Right? They were simply posting a GIF of games journalism being peed on, because we all know it's garbage and it hasn't been any better in 4 years. And it's never more evident by how VG247's nipples got twisted. Just by looking at it, you know they were seething with rage. They had to go put on the GIMP mask and get into the cellar box. Only way for them to get past it. But I digress. So it says here, following a recent, now deleted tweet from digital distribution platform GOG.com, VG247 is pulling its support of the storefront for the foreseeable future. In the past, our site has promoted GOG as a DRM-free alternative to Steam, and we even supported the retailer with VG247 themed sales on the front page of the site. Today, GOG tweeted out a promotional GIF for Postal 2, which is not the problem. The GIF contained an image of someone pissing on a headstone marked games journalism, which also isn't the problem. Let's be fair. That is totally the problem. They got triggered over that. They got triggered because they had flashbacks to how gaming journalism was tossed on its ear by a ragtag group of gamers that wanted ethics in games journalism back in the summer and early fall of 2014. Now, it goes on to say here that the problem is that the GIF can be interpreted as a dog whistle that panders to hate group Gamergate, which itself has been proven to lead to radicalism and even murder. Now, okay, first and foremost, wait, what, who in the what now, who did what? I don't fully get it, but this is clearly where things are right now, because this is the article, by the way, they linked to, and I am not making this up. I want to put a bit of a trigger warning, or a content warning. If you have epilepsy, this could trigger you, or just straight give you cancer, because yes, it is as bad as you think. Which takes me to an article on BuzzFeed News titled Lane Davis's Civil War. Now, if you don't know who Lane Davis is, I don't blame you. Lane Davis was he was a Gamergater by the name of Seattle for Truth. He came in towards like the fall of 2014 with this like documentary. I think it was like a 3.5 hour long documentary exposing games journalists and whatnot. And it never really lightened up from there. You know, this guy was way off the deep end in a number of ways. And I feel like ultimately this particular action was one that was, I think, going to happen. Maybe not murder, sure, but definitely some kind of physical action. Had nothing to do with Gamergate, had nothing to do with a lot of stuff, but it had everything to do with him just in terms of a mental capacity. And as a result of that, his father died after an argument over, I want to say it was over like pedophiles or something. His father said the wrong comment to Lane. Lane called him like a lefty pedo or something, and then took a knife and killed him. And there's that. And the whole article goes through it. And of course, they blame Gamergate. They blame Ethan Ralph with the Ralph retort. Now, just to clarify a point in my original video, I did call out Ralph in the website for having hosted his work and having immediately deleted the articles when the incident happened last year. I implied that they were possibly complicit in this by giving him a platform. I just want to retract that statement. Obviously, that's not the case. Ralph and I have talked about this publicly, but I just want to make that abundantly clear. My commentary at the time was not accurate. I just want to make that clear. So anyway, that's the Lane Davis situation. He is a murderer. He's going away for a long time. He may have pled not guilty, but when the cops show up and he's basically, the mom witnessed it. He's not coming out for quite some time. But Lane Davis was a single case. Lane Davis is not Gamergate. Gamergate is not Lane Davis. He was a supporter, but he also had his own demons that he was fighting, as I think a lot of people do. VG247 obviously wants to use that as a way to attack Gamergate and therefore justify their actions contained within this post. Now it goes on to say here that Gamergate has destroyed lives. Oh, Jesus, citation needed. And we're very disappointed that GOG has furthered the divide between those who cover games and a vocal minority that hates games journalists, women, and minorities. Here's this kind of thing there. How vocal minority hates minorities. Again, all that requires citations needed. All right, Gamergate hasn't destroyed any lives. No one has been run into hiding by Gamergate. No, Brianna Wu was tried to make that claim. She said she had to flee her home. She was back like 12 hours later for an interview. That's not really fleeing your home if you're worried about it. We discovered that $1 Million Extreme was involved. The whole Desert Beagle thing. There's a whole bunch of nonsense. But the thing to remember here is FBI investigated. FBI discovered that Gamergate didn't do nothing. We do know third-party trolls play a big part in it. Those are not Gamergate, but they're now associated as such because whoever wrote this little bit here is clearly wanting to be as hyperbolic and as false as humanly possible because that's what's going to get the most clicks. Let's be fair here. So it goes on to say that it could be that GOG didn't know the significance of the date in the headstone, but until we know why until the company's taking proper action to find out how this happened, we are pulling support. They have in fact responded here. GOG has cucked to the issue by issuing a statement saying, "We like to follow up our recent tweet about Postal 2 and share our apology and a few thoughts. The intention behind our tweet was to inform about a release known for controversial content. Unfortunately, we failed to make the association between the image, the date, and an abusive movement. Our intention was never to hurt or condone hate. We have removed the tweet. We clearly messed up here." And let's be fair. They tweeted out a GIF taking the piss literally out of, pissing on games journalists, which, let's be fair, Gamergate, for all of its blemishes and faults, exposed a lot of really crappy games journalists, people who were supporting their friends financially without disclosing it, people who were writing reports and reviews and giving positive coverage to their friends' games without disclosing it. Deepfreeze.it chronicles all of this stuff, and it's been around for 4 damn years. We won. But they can't take that. So GOG tweets something out from Postal 2 because Running with Scissors, the devs there, were full-on Gamergate supporters, had everyone's back, and they were really they got a lot of shit for helping out, for being supportive of it. Daniel Vavra, who is the guy behind Kingdom Come Deliverance, caught a lot of flack. Games journalists would not review the game when it came out back in February because of his association and support with Gamergate. That is how much of an unperson, how much of an other they try to make you. That is how much they try to use their influence in order to destroy you. Well, I hate to break it to you, VG247. You literally have lesser impact on the industry as a whole than idiots like me. You literally have that minimal of influence that someone like me can have a far greater reach and have a far greater influence over people and how they spend their money. Video game websites, video game reviews from outlets like yours have in fact diminished in their popularity. They've diminished in their influence. They've diminished in everything. But instead of acknowledging the fact that you guys are a tired dinosaur in the age of media, you choose to attack a movement that was trying to help you right your own wrongs by trying to say that, oh, it's destroyed lives. It's destroyed lives, without ever once citing fucking proof outside of an article about a mentally deranged idiot who killed his father after getting into a heated conversation about pedophiles. Not gaming related. Not Gamergate related. Try the fuck again. You guys always do this. So what do you do when you're upset at a company for tweeting out something you don't like? Because like, it might be Gamergate related. Oh, I have to call up the boogeyman. We have to shame them publicly to get them to pull support. Here's the thing. GOG will make more money by standing up to you than by cucking to you. No, they would. They would make more money by standing up to you because gamers would see that they're not intimidated or bullied by people like you. That they're not intimidated and bullied by outlets like yours. That's the whole point. Gamers were the ones who were behind Gamergate because they wanted ethics in games journalism. They wanted enthusiast press coverage to actually maintain to be enthusiast press coverage. What they've gotten are people who talk down to them, who shit on them, who call them sexist man babies for having an opinion that's different from whatever collective you find yourself involved in. We know that you guys have journalists. We know that you guys have colluded together in order to put out particular narratives. We know all of these things about you. And yet here you are years later, still pushing the same tired nonsense that has been disproven time and time and time again. And you might sit there and go, but you're talking about it too, Matt. Yeah, that's right, because I will always argue back against a false narrative like this. Because that is exactly why Gamergate will fully never die. Because, and this is true, and I want you to pay attention here, fine folks at VG247 and other outlets that may be watching this. It's because of you. This is all because of you. Everything is because of you. This is your fault. You keep bringing Gamergate up as a boogeyman instead of acknowledging and addressing your own faults. And the more you do, the more shady, deceptive, deceitful people you employ or are in your orbit get exposed for the people that they are. You want to say that Gamergate destroys lives. You want to say that Gamergate has killed people. You want to say all of these things while referencing one example of a person who was mentally deranged and was already down that path before Gamergate even started. And yet you fail to look at your own team. You fail to look at the over 16 counts, 16 examples of people who are in the media, in many cases, or anti-Gamergaters, higher profile people than people like me who have been accused, if not in some cases convicted, of sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape. Those are the people you associate yourself with. Those are the people who you back. But one digital distribution platform tweets out a GIF of your industry getting pissed on, and the first thing you do is pull support. Who's the coward here? Who's the coward? I dare you to look yourself in the mirror. Whoever wrote this article, made that decision, or whoever has backed that play, and tell me you're not the problem. Gaze into the windows of your soul. Look deep down into the abyss of your being, and you'll know that you're a coward and that you actually back abusers and assaulters and people who have destroyed lives. People like me who want ethics in what it is you do, what it is I do, what it is we do, in order to preserve what we all love as a hobby. We're not the bad guys. It's you. And I think you know it. Anyway, though, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. Let me know down in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been the Mundane Matt channel. If you are a games journalist who has some problems with what I have said, by all means, Twitter, good place to find me. I'm always on there, much to my own detriment. For everyone else, please be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe, share it around if you want, and check back for more content from me. In fact, I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month over at patreon.com/mundanematt.